everybody, welcome to the Thursday Facebook posting of the Court of Public Opinion from the garage. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a good week. Don't forget, tomorrow, live streaming from around the dining room table, jeremycordeaux.com. Do tune in and ring in if you would like to. John Bruni, and God, there's enough to talk to him about. The world of events of the last month, 6 weeks are extraordinary. So John Bruni will be with us, Dr. John. Professor Plimer is coming in at about 10 o'clock. Rosalie Rotolo and Frank Pangello are coming in. That'll be about 10:30. Senator Bob Day, and who else? I've forgotten somebody, Pete. Anyway, it's going to be a very busy, packed, interesting show tomorrow. 9 o'clock, live streaming around the dining room table, jeremycordeaux.com. We're broadcasting, as you know, from the garage here today, but broadcasting from, listen, the world's most beautiful city. Yep, it's true. Adelaide was recently named the world's most beautiful city by Architectural Digest. I don't know if you've ever seen Architectural Digest. You used to be able to see it at the newsagents, but magazines don't seem to be around all that much. But you can get it online, I know that. It's a very, very great, influential, prestige publication. Global, international publication. A significant accolade, ladies and gentlemen. It says an affordable, if I get this, not word perfect, but an affordable, rich blend of architecture, wine regions, beaches, and proximity to absolutely every convenience that you could possibly think of, and a quality of life that is unrivaled anywhere in Australia, possibly even the world. Wow! You could frame that. How do you top that? Let's not try. We'll just leave that. We'll just live with that. That's a good one. I got this the other night. Again, it's not word perfect, but Australia has some of the toughest gun laws in the world. Responsible gun owners already follow these strict rules. Terrorists don't bother with rules, and they pose the greatest real threat. Fair laws should target criminals, not Australians who obey the law. Target terrorism, not responsible Australian gun owners. A friend of mine sent that to me, and I agree with it, every word. Victoria is in the middle of a very serious youth crime wave. So, I'll be interested in seeing what happens to this pilot program. It's an ankle-bracelet scheme to track kids who are out on bail. Now, no one quite knows how these thugs got out on bail in the first place, but let's leave that to one side. We're talking about perpetrators of aggravated burglary, violent assault, carjackings, home invasions, and the government who really caused the problem by going soft, or I don't know, I guess they ordered, or the Attorney General ordered the magistrates to go soft on young offenders. Anyway, the government has decided to track 50 of these kids in a trial which will cost $35 million. Now, this was started, it's been going almost a year. So far, guess how many kids are in the program? Anyone want to have a guess?
Wait for it.
Okay. 8. Oh. They just wanted 50. They had hundreds out on bail, but it doesn't matter. 8 kids. Now, these are 13 to 18-year-olds. Unbelievable. And I've worked out the maths because I'm terrible at that sort of thing. But you take 35 million, you divide it by 8, and you get $4,375,000 per participant. Can you believe that? Oh my God. 4,730,000 per ankle bracelet. With youth crime out of control, this is how the Victorian Labor government tackles it. They did the same thing with the machetes, you know. It cost something like $700,000 for every machete that they actually had surrendered to them, which were probably surrendered by gardeners. I don't think the Crims would come in and hand them over. Everywhere you look, you know, ladies and gentlemen, there is a climate organisation of one kind or another. No shortage of publicly funded climate experts. It's funny. You look to these people because they're experts to tell you the truth. You're never going to hear the truth from them while their income depends on the lies. Never going to happen. Starts Professor Plimer tomorrow on the live streaming show. Just to show you how full of crap they are, the Environment Minister, Murray Watt, a member of Labor's left, there was a climate change guy, there was the South Australian Premier, and an assembled media gathering to announce the handing over of a big tract of land. The government bought it, about $5 million, I think. It was a former pastoral station property. They bought it, that's the government, to establish a huge wetland. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that's great. You know, but I'm not a climate crazy. You know, great birds, wildlife, nature, a genuine natural ecosystem. But as I say, I'm not a climate change idiot. All those people assembled on the Coorong at the mouth of the mighty Murray River back on the 6th of January are, of course, highly focused on climate change. And believe it or not, they don't know that the greatest producer of methane, the worst greenhouse gas in the world, is produced by natural wetlands. And here they are, so proud of making another one. Hypocrisy, stupidity, ignorance, arrogance, I don't know. But you would have thought one journalist would have known this and questioned this celebration, and indeed the purchase of the land. But no, not a word. And does this assembled group of high-minded government officials and bureaucrats and people, do they imagine that there's not one person like me out there watching this on television who doesn't know what wetlands do? I don't care what the wetlands are, I'm all for them. But this is just so hypocritical, it's just so stupid. The great kerfuffle, it's a lovely word, I love it, kerfuffle over social media, the ban for under 16-year-olds, has, I reckon, been a total failure. They won't admit that, of course. No great comment or discussion or argument. The kids are very vocal, you know. Not a word, not a peep. Now, the reason for this, it's just gone straight through to the keeper because the kids don't care. They've worked around it. Social media say that 4,715,000 kids, their accounts have been cancelled. Well, I don't believe it. You may have cancelled the accounts, but you haven't stopped the kids. And here's another one you mightn't believe. The Daily Telegraph reports that the Aboriginal ambassador, or envoy, didn't even know he had one, has spent $730,000 on travel in 1 year. No questions, no accountability. Haven't heard anyone bring anything up in Senate estimates or question time. No. That's, of course, 750. That's on top of his hefty salary, of course, as well. $350,000 on airfares and accommodation. It wasn't just him. He had an entourage. He used to go, or still does, I imagine, go around with him. Why? Who is going to stop this nonsense? I think Pauline Hanson might. Why do we need a First Nations ambassador? We are one nation. We're not, it's beyond belief, isn't it? Roaming the world, first class, doing what? With whom? And why? And on what authority? Following the Labor Party's failed voice to Parliament, which we'd all know about, the same government is forking out $1.5 million to produce a podcast to promote the change of the date for Australia Day. Why? Who gave you the authority to do that? You are using public money to change public opinion. Nuts to you. You don't want to accept an almost universal demand for a royal commission into the Bondi massacre. You won't accept the resounding no to the voice. You are arrogant. And I think out of touch is another expression that comes to mind. The slaughter of the whalers, the Brumbies, is being planned even as we speak. And we broadcast this Facebook posting this morning, Thursday morning. They are working on it. All because an Aboriginal on the Invasive Species Committee, I've been told this, I wasn't there, I don't know, but this is what I've been told. An Aboriginal on the Invasive Species Committee reckons they remind him of colonial times. Where would you be, old son, without those awful colonial times? I really wonder if anyone has pondered that question. Sure, I'm absolutely certain they were difficult times for Aboriginal people. Not terrible to lose your country. But if you can't control your borders, you will lose your country. But back to the horses. This is something we can do something about. From the First World War to the man, well, it was actually before that because it would have been the Boer War. Then we can look at the man from the Snowy River.
Charge of the Light Brigade.
Yeah, charge of, well, the last great cavalry charge, which was at Beersheba. The books that kids grew up with, the Silver Brumby, to folklore. The last great cavalry charge in the world, Beersheba. Do you remember the opening of the 2000 Olympics in Sydney with Tom Burlington? Cracking the whip, wearing the dry as a bone? Australian folklore, ladies and gentlemen. These are the horses that the New South Wales government will kill. Shot from helicopters. Not a cull. What these idiots, these zealots, see as the final solution. The horses, apart from reminding some fellow that we had a colonial past, might tramp on a daisy or two. The extermination of wild horses of the Kosciuszko National Park would be an international outrage, a total disgrace. I urge you to do whatever you can in your own way to help me stop this. Talk to your Member of Parliament, state or federal. Talk to the Animal Welfare League, the Royal Society for the Protection of Animals, the RSPCA. There are many organisations whose job it is to stop this kind of thing. We have to be motivated and informed and tell them that we aren't going to wear it. They should, these animal welfare organisations should be leading the charge, not some guy in Adelaide in his garage talking to you in the court of public opinion, but I will do what I can. I really will. I hope you can help. Let me...
Jeremy.
Yeah.
A word about koalas, the boffins in New South Wales now. are saying they're being overrun by koalas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're being overrun by koalas.
The Adelaide Hills apparently.
Yep, yes, I saw that, and they want to cull them or to. I said that all of this we saw with Kangaroo Island, where they had these stupid people who were saying things like, "Oh well, they're chlamydia free, they're a wonderful branch of the koala world, but we have to kill them to save them."
Well, as we sit
Insane.
here, we're in the Mount Lofty Ranges.
Yes, and we have koalas. Pete's got several koala friends. Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. It's worthy of it. January the 22nd today, ladies and gentlemen. Happy birthday, happy wedding anniversary. 2018 on this day, Netflix becomes the largest digital media and entertainment company in the world, worth $100 billion. Wow. Netflix. I don't have Netflix. Do you have Netflix?
Yeah.
Do you have Netflix? No. I don't either. I'm not going to go and pay for it. No subscriptions. Don't like that. Queen Victoria, Queen of the United Kingdom and Ireland, 1837 to 1901, dies at the age of 81 on this day in 1901. British and Australian troops captured Trabuc from the Italians on this day in 1941, giving life and giving birth to the Rats of Tobruk, another amazing piece of Australian military legend. Buddy Holly, we talked about him on Tuesday. Buddy Holly makes his last recording in his New York apartment, alone with an acoustic guitar. He tapes 5 songs, including Peggy Sue, Crying, Waiting and Hoping, which were all embellished, overdubbed and released posthumously by Coral Records. I remember Coral Records. 1959 was the year. The first commercial Boeing 747 flight, which was a Pan Am worldwide or World Airways flight from New York to London in 6.5 hours, this day in 1970. And the 747 is an amazing aeroplane, still flying, mostly cargo these days. Telly Savalas, American actor, Kojak on Her Majesty's Secret Service. He's a singer too, he did a few records. He dies of prostate cancer at 72 on this day in 1994. Sir Isaac Isaacs, sworn in as the first Australian-born Governor-General, 1931. John Hurt, English actor, The Elephant Man, Alien, Midnight Express. God, that was a shocking movie. Oh, when I say shocking, it was horrific. You wouldn't want to go to Turkey after you've seen Midnight Express. It was in Doctor Who as well. Anyway, John Hurt died 2017, but he was born this day in 1940. Spain cedes the Falkland Islands to Britain, 1771. Ukraine is proclaimed a free republic, but a German puppet, back in 1918. 1336, going back a while, Louis III, the last Earl of Loon. Loon, L-O-O-N, dies. So loon, it's lunatic, but I think that sort of refers more to the moon, doesn't it? The last Earl of Loon. Nobody else wanted the peerage. The first Knights Templar Grand Encampment in the US is held in New York City, 1814. And Bill Bixby, American actor, director and producer, Incredible Hulk, The Courtship of Eddie's Father, My Favorite Martian, born San Francisco, California. He was born this day in 1934. We'll leave it there, ladies and gentlemen, and I will look forward to seeing you in the morning round the dining room table. Who else is going to be there? Well, I mentioned the lineup of guests, but our regulars, of course, Tony Denton, Les Ellicus,
Gary?
Speak up, Gary. And various people who sort of move through the dining room from time to time. It's chaotically interesting. I'll see you in the morning. Thank you very much for being with us in our Facebook posting here in the garage. We'll see you next Tuesday for another one at 9 o'clock and another one on next Thursday, but tomorrow live streaming jeremycordeaux.com. Thank you for viewing the Court of Public Opinion. I'm Jeremy Cordeaux. Believe in yourself, and goodbye for now.